The first challenge of your trip to Lisbon will be getting out of the airport. And in today's video we are going to explain in detail how to get from the airport to the city center by the different means of transportation available. Hola, ¿qué tal? I am Tony Galvez from Road Trips Spain and Portugal, where we help you plan the perfect trip with practical information and insider tips. The good news is that it is very easy to get from Lisbon airport to the city center. There are several options that we are going to show you throughout the video. We're going to talk about the airport terminals, the metro, the buses, the taxis, and the so-called TVDE. Lisbon Airport is located in the northern region of the city, not far from the city center. Its official name is Aeroporto Humberto Delgado, and it is also known as Aeroporto da Portela. Its IATA code is LIS, L-I-S. The airport consists of two terminals. Terminal 1 is the main terminal, and it is used by all intercontinental flights, as well as many flights from other parts of Portugal and Europe. If you are flying into Lisbon from outside Europe, you will use Terminal 1. If you are flying with TAP or a traditional airline, you'll also arrive in T1. The other terminal is T2, Terminal 2, built to increase the airport's capacity, which is used by some low-cost airlines. But beware, although most low-cost airlines use T2, there are some that operate in T1 and changes can happen at any time. Check your boarding pass to see which terminal you are arriving at. If your flight arrives at T1, it's very simple because all transport connections to the city leave from this terminal. You'll go through immigration if you are arriving from outside Europe, collect your luggage and walk to the exit, which is very well signposted. If you arrive at Terminal 2, two things can happen. The first is that your airline, such as Ryanair, will provide one of those low buses that roll near the planes. You will get off the plane and get on the bus, which will take you to Terminal 1. If you need to collect any luggage, you will do so in Terminal 1. And once in this terminal, you will follow the instructions we're going to give for anyone arriving at T1. There may not be such a bus and you may disembark and walk to Terminal 2. In that case, collect your luggage, if you have any, and look for the free airport bus that connects T2 with T1, which stops outside T2. It is a bus that runs outside the airport perimeter, not near the runways. You will travel to T1 where you will follow the instructions we are going to give for T1 passengers. When you arrive at the open part of the airport in T1, you will have to walk to whichever transport you have chosen to travel to your accommodation, the metro, the buses, the taxis, or the TVDEs, which is the term used for cars from platforms such as Uber. Let's take a look at each of these means of transport in detail, but first a word of warning. In the description of the video and in the first commentary below you will find the updated prices of the transport leaving from the airport. The metro is Lisbon's subway or underground system. If you are not traveling with a lot of luggage and if your accommodation is close to a metro station, this transport system is an affordable, quick and easy way to get out of the airport. It is the preferred choice of many travelers. At Terminal 1 of the airport is the final station of Lisbon's Red Line, one of 4 in the city's metro system. The great thing about the Red Line, the airport line, is that it meets the other Lisbon metro lines on its route. The most important stations for you traveling to Lisbon on the Red Line are Oriente, where you will find the train station of the same name, and the Parque das Nações, Alameda, where you can connect to the Green Line, which among other places takes you to Rocio, Baixa and Chiado in the center of Lisbon, Saldanha, where you can connect to the Yellow Line, which takes you to Marquês de Pombal, and San Sebastián, with connection to the Blue Line, which takes you to Rocio or Santa Apolonia train station. Let's say, for example, you want to go from the airport to Rocio station in the city center. You will get on the metro at the airport and get off at Alameda station. And at Alameda you will connect to the Green Metro line in the direction of Cais do Sodré, which will take you to Rocio station. A comment on the transfer between metro lines. We saw many people with luggage climbing long flights of stairs. Save yourself that effort by looking for the lift symbol, the 3 men on the left of the plaque. Which combination of lines you choose will depend on where you want to go. If you have any questions, ask us and we will tell you which way to go to your accommodation using the metro. The metro station is outside the airport. It is very easy to see the red colored entrance. When you come out into the open part of the airport, still inside T1, turn right to go in the direction of the metro station. When you reach the hall with the large windows, exit through the doors on the left and walk straight ahead to the metro entrance. The station is on a lower level. You can go down by lift or escalator. You will immediately see the ticket vending machines in front of you, which we will talk about in a moment. But you should know that in addition to the machines, there is a ticket office. And to get there, you just have to walk a little further, leaving the machines behind you. We know that when you arrive in a new city, you don't have time for many distractions. But don't forget to appreciate the artistic project of the station, with caricatures made by the famous cartoonist Antonio Antunes, representing important characters of the history of Portugal that welcome you to Lisbon. Let's talk now about the ticket you will have to buy and how to buy it. Good news once again. Contrary to what happens in other cities of the Iberian Peninsula such as Madrid or Barcelona, to use the airport metro you don't have to pay any special fare. You use the same ticket as to travel within the city. Also, if you are going to make a connection with another metro line, for as long as you stay within the metro system, you will not have to pay a new ticket. As well as the ticket you decide to buy, you have to buy a small card like this one that works like an electronic wallet in which you keep the tickets you buy. This card can be called Viva Viagem or Sete Colinas. Don't worry, because despite the two names, it is the same card. Today the Viva Viagem is more common. Each traveler has to have his or her own card, which is for individual use. It costs 50 cents and it is valid for a year from the first use. It is a rechargeable card. You put credits on it to be able to use it. The card, as long as you have credit, allows you to travel on public transport in the city. To leave the airport, you have 3 ticket options which we recommend you load onto your card. You could choose a single ticket. It allows you to travel for 1 hour after the first use. In the case of Lisbon, this is enough time to get you to your hotel. You could load a 24-hour ticket. It is valid for a period of 24 hours starting from the first use. If you start using it at 10 p.m, it will be valid until 10 p.m. the next day. With it, you can travel on all public transport in Lisbon, not just the metro. Or you could charge credit in a format called zapping. You have to charge a minimum of 3 euros and you spend that credit every time you get on a transport. The advantage of the zapping format is that the journey ends up being a bit cheaper than with a single ticket. For example, right now, a single ticket costs 150. If you pay that zapping, it will cost you 135. It's important to know, because this can be a bit confusing, that you can only load one type of ticket on your card. You cannot combine different tickets. You can load 3 single tickets, for example, but you cannot load a single ticket and a 24-hour ticket. Let's go to the machine which has an English version. Tap on the bottom left corner of the screen to choose it. As we have just arrived in Lisbon, let's simulate the purchase of a ticket for those who do not yet have a transport card. Tap on Without Reloadable Card purchase on the initial screen. On the next screen, choose how many cards you want. We are going to simulate the purchase of 1, but if there are more than 1 of you, now it is the time to change the quantity. Click Continue. You will now see the different ticket options you can load on the card you are buying. Remember that you can only choose one type of ticket. The first option is the single ticket, the second option is the zapping, which is the placement of money credit on the card, and the third option is the 24-hour ticket. Let's buy a single ticket to go to the hotel. On the next screen, we could choose to buy more than one single ticket to use later. But for now, we are going to buy just one. The number of tickets you choose to buy on this screen will be loaded on each card you buy. And now we see a summary of the purchase. We paid 50 cents for the card and 150 for a single ticket charged to that card. Total to be paid 2 euros. Now we have to choose whether we are going to pay with cash or with cards. It is easy to understand the right-hand panel of the machine. There is a part reserved for payment by card, another for payment with banknotes, and another for payment with coins. Once you have finished paying, collect your card from the bottom of the machine, as well as any change owed to you by the machine. Also take the receipt and keep it in case you have any problems with your card. And that's it. With a card purchased and your individual ticket loaded, you can now enter the station. To enter the station, you have to hold your card up to the reader just before the barrier. When you are about to leave your destination station, you will also have to repeat the operation. The Lisbon Metro runs from 6:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. There is a train about every 7 minutes. To the city center, it can take between 20 minutes and half an hour depending on which station you go to. In short, if you are traveling without much luggage and your accommodation is close to a station, the metro is an excellent option for getting out of the airport. The second type of transport out of the airport are the autocarros, Lisbon buses. Until the pandemic, Lisbon Airport had an express bus service, the Aerobus, but the service was suspended and at the time of recording this video it is still not running. When it is up and running again, we will update the information in the video description. Besides the Aerobus, there are several conventional bus lines that take you to different parts of Lisbon. We don't see any point in using them as they are slow, they are not express services, they make a million stops along the way, and unless you are going somewhere in Lisbon where the metro doesn't go, it does not compensate. In other cities, the local bus is a cheaper option than other types of transport leaving from the airport, but in the case of Lisbon, you will pay exactly the same for the fast and easy metro journey as for the slow and luggage restricted bus journey, because only hand luggage is allowed on conventional buses. Larger suitcases are not allowed. If you still want to use the local bus, the bus stop is very close to the metro station. You pay for the trip with the same ticket as on the metro, or you can buy an individual ticket from the driver. Taxis are a good option for those looking for comfort and speed, for those traveling with a lot of luggage, or for those traveling with several companions. The taxi rank is located right in front of Terminal 1, very well signposted. The fare to the hotel will be determined by the taximeter. It is worth making sure that the taxi driver switches on the meter. You may be charged extra for carrying luggage. Most taxi drivers in Lisbon are honest, but there is a minority who end up tarnishing the reputation of the rest. There are many stories on the internet of exorbitantly priced rides and long turns to get to the destination. It is a pity because episodes like this end up undermining confidence in a system that shouldn't be a Russian roulette. Finally, another option for leaving the airport is what in Portugal is known as TVDE, and in other parts of the world by the name of the companies that operate the service, the best known of which is Uber. At the airport, the companies with the largest fleets are Uber and Bolt. When we arrived at T1, we did a simulated run to Praça Marquês de Pombal, and the value Bolt was asking was a little lower than Uber. We left the airport in Bolt. The main advantage of using an app is that you know how much you're going to pay before you get into the vehicle, without worrying about the route the driver decides to take to your destination. The place where the Uber and Bolt cars stop is a car park called Kiss and Fly for very short stays. It is not far from the metro, but you will need to get there from inside the airport, as we'll explain now. When you are in the hall with the big windows, go up the first escalator to the right of the airport exit doors. When you reach the top of the escalator, go straight ahead and take the first exit on the left. Cross the zebra crossing and turn right. You will pass the bus stop leading from T1 to T2. When you do, turn left, cross the zebra crossing, and you will arrive at the car park where your driver will pick you up. In summary, if you arrive at T2, you will have to go to T1. At T1, you can choose between the metro, local buses, taxis, or cars from platforms. Our personal preference, which may or may not coincide with yours, is the metro for those who travel light and go to a street with a station nearby, or Uber or Bolt for those who want comfort and speed. As always, it goes without saying that we love to help, so if you need help getting to your accommodation, take advantage of the commentary box to ask. This was the first video of the channel about our beloved Lisbon, but wait, there will be plenty more to come. We'll see you in the video we are showing you now on the screen.